출시 당시
At launch,
퍼스트
the
디센던트는
media
보시는 것처럼 매체들로부터 상당히
reception of TFT was
See,
quite
look,
hurtful.
I like that this dev team is not afraid to talk about this. This is like a streamer, of a low view streamer talking about their metrics and stuff. It's very important to be aware of public perception, you know, around your products or whatever you're trying to sell. I really like that they know that their Metacritic is pretty low or was pretty low.
메타스코어
As you can
57점이라는
see, our Metascore sat at a humble 57.
그런 낮은 점수에도 불구하고
However, commercially,
사업적으로는 높은 성과를
it
거두게
was a hit,
되면서 많은 관심을 받았습니다.
getting lots of
특히
attention.
출시 첫 달
In just the
총매출만
first
1억
month,
달러를 상회하는
TFT pulled in over $100 million in sales.
덕분에 북미 유럽 권역에서는
$100 million in sales, chat. In 1 month. Did he say 1 month?
Getting lots of attention.
출시 첫 달
In just the
총매출만
first
1억
month,
달러를
TFT
상회하는
pulled in over $100 million in sales.
Damn, over $100 million.
Thanks to that, in North America and Europe,
1 month.
among the
Success,
top
boys,
consulting,
success.
it ranked 5th, which is impressive.
하지만 첫 달에 1,000만 명에
However,
달하는
the problem was
유저분들이
the
들어오시면서
influx of more than 10 million users within just the first month.
심하면 하루에도
Gaming
두세 번씩
tech issues
핫픽스를
popped up every day.
해야 할
Sometimes we
정도였어요.
had to do 2 or 3 hotfixes in a single day.
개발팀은 최선을 다해서 대응을
The
했고
devs gave it their all.
이런 과정에 대해서 유저 커뮤니티에 되게 솔직하고
US dollars? Yeah, I think so, yeah.
하려고 노력을 했습니다. 그리고
We put a lot of
대해서
efforts with the user
좋은
communities
평가를
and
받기도
they
했어요.
appreciate it.
참고 이미지 중에 하나는
You can
레딧에
see on
당시에
the
올라왔던
image is from Reddit.
의견이었어요.
It's one of the opinion from the Reddit user.
하지만 그걸로는 충분하지
But
못했고요.
unfortunately, it wasn't enough.
지금 보시는 이 그래프는 출시 한 달 후에 접속 유저
This is just 1 month after launch, the number of active
출시 한 달
users.
후에 접속
As you can
유저
see,
숫자가 절반 이하로
in just
떨어지고
1 month
말았습니다.
after, the active user had dropped by more than half.
네, 대량의 유저가 유입되면서 많은 피드백들이
The early
제기가
users
되었는데요.
gave us tons of
그중에서도
feedback.
가장 온도가 높았던
The
것들을
most common
꼽자면 바로
complaints
컨텐츠
were
부족,
about lack of
밸런스에
content
관련된 이슈, 그리고
complaints
컨텐츠
were
부족,
about lack of
밸런스에
content.
관련
You see? One of their biggest complaints when First Descendant released was that there was a lack of content.
이슈, 그리고
Issues
안정성 및
related to
최적화에
balance,
대한 이슈들이었습니다.
stability, and optimization.
근데 문제는 이러한 세 가지 주요 이슈들은
But
다들
the
잘
problem is
아시겠지만
that,
단시간에 대응할
as
수
you
있는
may
성질의
know
것은
already,
아니었습니다.
those aren't exactly quick fixes.
콘텐츠 부족 같은 경우에도 그렇고 밸런스
Not only the
문제도 제대로
content,
고치려고
the lack of
하면
content, but also combat balances.
검토의
We needed
시간을
some time
가지고 대응을 해야
to
했는데
revise and test.
당시 이제 라이브가 굉장히 과열된 상태였기
But since we
때문에
were learning,
충분히
running
검토할
a
시간이
heated live
부족했어요.
service,
그래서 되게 빠르게
which it was a
하려고 했고,
luxury that we
그러다 보니
couldn't really afford.
대응을 하는 경우도 많았습니다. 그리고 아시는 것처럼
As you
안정성과
may know,
최적화
as
이슈도
for stability and optimization,
또 워낙에 다양하고
since we were
플랫폼도
supporting
다양하다
multiple regions
보니까
and
이거를 끌고 대응하는
platforms,
게 굉장히 쉽지 않았습니다.
effectively solving the problem was a challenge for us.
네, 이제 이런 상황에서 8주간의 프리시즌이 끝나고
In
드디어
the
첫
midst of all
번째 메이저
this, the
업데이트인 시즌 1의
8-week
업데이트가
preseason came to an
진행됐는데요.
end, followed by our first major
시즌 1을
update,
통해서
Season 1.
다시 반등을 하기를 기대했지만
We were
시즌 1
hoping
업데이트는
to see a rebound, but that didn't exactly happen. The graph on the screen is from SteamDB,
팀의 동접자
showing the volume of concurrent users. If you look at the Season 1 marker, the line bumped up just a teeny tiny bit.
What are they talking about?
but
The First Descendant's trajectory of player base and what they did wrong, what they could improve on, etc.
it dropped right back to where it was before the update.
그렇다면
So, you know, we had to analyze what was the problem. So what went exactly wrong with season 1? I can probably name a few. But first, since the content development for season 1 started before the launch, so we really couldn't adapt to the fast-changing live environment. As a users, more than 10 million users were playing TFT. It required a lot of costs, so we couldn't really prepare enough for season 1 update. And we thought that monthly content updates seemed like a good idea, but to users, it was like we were splitting one big feast into tiny appetizers. We just wanted to do the continuous updates, but it didn't really receive. It wasn't really received that way. So the negative sentiment was growing from the community. I had to apologize to the user community. We had to adjust our update schedule. That was our response. So while struggling with season 1, we spent a lot of time thinking about what to do moving forward. And the first solution we found was to engage more with our users. We have been already communicating with the users, but so first through Discord AMAs, we started our efforts. Since we're running the game with the global users, it wasn't really easy for us to answer to the questions in person. You know, you can see that by GPT, I was typing in Korean, using the GPT. Me and our director answered to the user questions. Even after hours or during weekends, since users gave us tons of feedback, we had to respond, soaking in live trends. With that feedback, we made tangible changes. So one of them was the store policies. Though it's directly related to sales, we revised our in-game store policies. In fact, we had to refund nearly $1 million worth of in-game currency.
Damn, they refunded over $1 million of in-game currency, chap.
But you know, we were able to restore the user's trust, something far more valuable.
That's true.
At the heart of our efforts lies the Dev Live. Though TFT was developed in Korea, half the user base comes from North America and the other half is from Europe, Asia, and pretty much all over the world. It's running a live stream with language barriers. Takes a lot of challenge. I'm not a bilingual person, so there were so many worries for me. So with the help of real
Did you get fries too? Yeah, I'm eating my fries right now.
the dev team stepped in front of the
That's not
cameras,
really a
introducing
refund.
updates
They
and
still
hosting
keep
live
the real
Q&As.
world money. You could look at it this way. It's money that they could have made, but they didn't because they gave it away. So if they're giving them 1 million in refunds, that is potential money loss that they could have gained without giving people that refund. And they did lose money. So it's still kind of, maybe refund isn't the right word in quotations, but they still lost money through that decision.
So showing our commitment to the
Which
community,
is the
our
point.
very first Dev Live is the one that you can see on the screen. There is a red box. It lasted for a whopping 4 hours. We soaked in the feedback from the user community. We had a strong commitment. And on a Sunday, of course, because why not? It's a little bit harsh for
Hard-working
the
devs,
team, I'd
man.
say. That was a joke.
이렇게 해서 시즌 2 업데이트에 대해서 적극적으로
And we introduced season 2 updates. As such, we poured our hearts into it and actively listened to the feedback. This is the Steam user review.
스팀의 주간 유저 평가 추이가
And Steam's
Yeah, that's definitely something you don't see often. A developer being, in quotations, pro-consumer.
during the season 1, and
You don't really see that. Not many developers will go back and make things cheaper.
It skyrocketed.
Yeah.
Of course, still early to throw a party, but this was a
Is the
sign.
game closing? No. This is just a game developer conference, GDC. And they're talking about the first Descendent trajectory between launch and now and what's to come in the future.
That our efforts did not go in vain, which was a relief. As such, Season 2 updates required multidimensional approaches. So this is the image of the Season 2 content. Based on the user comment and feedback, various QoL improvements were introduced.
Season 2 was pretty good. Season 2 was pretty good. They added Void Vessel, Ultimate Sharon, Keelan.
User return, we showed a real commitment.
Free Ultimate Bunny, free outfits.
We hosted user events with huge rewards at the expense of sales performance. So the last, when you can see Ultimate Bunny on the screen, we gave Ultimate Bunny for free as an event reward, which was a huge reward outside. We wanted to see the users returning to our game. With such,
Damn, they had a 92% increase of daily active users.
effort, in the end,
For
hard work
season
paid
2.
off. Season 2 met our expectations. DAU went up by 92.4%, and the share of returning users against that of Season 1 grew by 20%. For all the important D+14 retention,
I like how they have a PlayStation 5 crash rate,
it increased
around 5% to 1% crash rate.
18.8% in returning users and
Damn.
20.1% increase in AUs.
I like how they have that
For
data.
the stability of the game, there has been crash rates report that we've been receiving on PS5.
Nintendo
We
Switch
could
base
track
in Brazil, $800.
the crash rate trends. To self-critic, it was 5%, but it went down recently to 1%. We improved significantly in terms of crash rates. And just last week on March 13th, we dropped Season 2 Episode 2.
They're
Of
learning
all
and
of these
adapting. I
updates
know,
so
it's pretty
far,
nice to see, dude. I like it.
Earning the highest player satisfaction. I personally received those positive feedback, and also I review the community feedback as well. To add a little bit on to this point, since launch, we've been, you can say that this is the first update that we carried out based on the accumulated feedback. we did a research on accumulated feedback since launch. We wanted to reflect this feedback onto our narrative. And I think that's
They
why
also gave away
users
free
have
Descendent
very
slots.
positively received those updates.
Yeah, exactly.
These updates. So we learned that we can strongly engage with our users. We can actually make improvement in our updates as well, update quality-wise. TFT Season 2 accomplished what it set out to do, but you can say that we finally took a little breather. But the problem of quantity and quality of content, which is a fundamental issue, they were still there. I realized
Still have issues.
fundamental changes were needed.
Lack of content and satisfaction
That's
of
why
content quality.
we decided to switch things up within the team.
A new direction, chat.
Instead of sticking to the usual 3-month seasonal update cycle, we chose to take a longer turn. It's not for anything else. We just wanted to focus on user satisfaction that required longer time. If we just do the updates for the update sake, we couldn't really achieve that. That's why we decided to make that decision. And
So
that's why
now we're gonna have a longer waits for seasons. Prepare for longer periods, not just 3 months period. So they're going to be having these seasons last longer. So there's a longer break in between content.
So we're going to do the mega update next summer. And in order to support such update volume and the quality, we've grown the dev team significantly in order to name some numbers.
They upgraded their team, chat. More team. I really like this bigger team. Yeah. Let's up those numbers, man. That means quality is going to go up. Yeah, the longer wait for big content patches. Yeah, I don't know. That could be bad for them, or it could be good. I personally prefer quality over quantity. So if they're actually committed to bringing quality updates, I'm okay with the longer wait.
Launch, we've grown the dev team by 50%.
This is the presso they did in GDC in March. Yeah, it was just released.
We can't really say that we're seeing significant update changes thanks to such growth in the dev team, but I think it's allowing us to constantly roll out popular items like skins and cosmetics. And recently I made another announcement and it became...
So they increased their team force by 50% to secure development resources, continuous and periodic release of customizable products. So the extra hand they added to the team is mostly focused on bringing in customization, microtransactions, outfits and such, which is really good. Yeah, I like that.
Received a lot of attention.
More outfits, please.
We made another decision. PS4, Xbox One, and other older gen consoles won't be supported soon. I know that we're taking some risks.
Oh, and the end of support for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. This is the juiciest one.
I know that there are
higher development efficiency by ending support for previous gen consoles. Support ends on June 19th, chat. Higher development efficiency by ending the support.
For people enjoying our game using old gen consoles, it was not an easy decision. It's not someone requested us to do so, but we just wanted to shift our dev resources on urgent priorities.
동시에 여러 플랫폼을
if we
동시 진행해야 되는데 그러면 이제
or to do the live updates on multiple platforms when we do the QA or patches, dev team had to
그런 문제를
deal with a lot of burden.
조금 부담을
Yeah.
그런 부담을 낮추고
We wanted to
양을 올리는 데
relieve
자원을
some burden from the dev team. We wanted to focus on priorities.
I like that.
was a hard
That this is a
decision that we
good
had to make.
director here, chat. Good director, that guy.
그래서 이거는 이제 오늘 제 발표에서 처음으로
So this is the
공개되는
thing that we are announcing for the first
그래서
time
이러한 의사결정을
through this
기반으로
presentation
해서
based on such
Season
decisions.
3.
준비를 하고 있습니다.
TFT Season
Breakthrough.
3 will be a mega update.
제목은
The first Descendent Season 3 will be named Breakthrough.
새로운 전환점을
It will serve as another turning point for us.
네, 그래서 이제 시즌 3 브레이크스루에 들어갈 신규 컨텐츠를 좀
So the main
소개해드리려고
content
하는데,
of Season 3, I'd like to introduce some of them. The core content will be
Enormous field
a massive
axion.
new field called Axion.
액션에는 새로운 몬스터
Axion
팩션과
will
새로운 특수
feature a
몬스터가
whole new monster
등장해서
faction and special
이전과는
monsters,
다른 플레이 방식을
offering a gameplay experience like never before.
이 지역이
Oh,
To match
shit.
the
Those
scale
are
of this
big
new era.
words. Offer gameplay experience like never before. Those are some big
A
words.
massive new field called Axion.
액션에는 새로운 몬스터
Axion
팩션과
will
새로운 특수
feature a
몬스터가
whole new monster
등장해서
faction and special
이전과는
monsters,
다른 플레이 방식을
offering a gameplay experience like never before.
이 지역이 광활한 만큼
To match the scale of this new area,
탑승물을 새로 추가를 하려고
we're
합니다.
adding vehicles to the game.
그리고 뿐만 아니라 많은 분들이
I don't know how I feel about vehicles, to be quite honest with you. I don't know how I feel about that. I think it's dog shit in Warframe when you could just pop a fucking motorcycle out of nowhere and fucking weird ass physics for that motorcycle. I don't know how it's gonna work out in here either. I'm not a big fan of the idea of a vehicle, to be quite honest with you. I feel like it would have been better if they just gave us a fucking jetpack. A jetpack that we could use thrusters on that would go super high speed. I would more fan of that. I don't know what a fucking vehicle is going to do and look like. Yeah. I don't know, but I'm a little hesitant. That's all I'm gonna say. Without seeing the product, I'm not gonna be too critical, but just from, you know, hearing vehicles coming to the game, I don't know how I feel about that, one. Number two, it's not like we explore a big open world either, right? We're constantly using checkpoints to teleport here, teleport there. We barely walk an inch in the game to begin with. I'm not sure if making maps just bigger for the sake of making them bigger is a good quality of the game. I'm gonna wait and see what that looks like, but a bigger map doesn't necessarily mean better, you know? And then having a vehicle on top of that, I don't know. I'm skeptical, but I'm gonna let them cook. I'm a little shaky on that news though. I don't know about that.
하셨던 부분인데
Because the way the worlds are right now, they're fucking dead as fuck. Okay? The worlds are dead. There's no monsters out there. There's a fucking patrol unit with 3 people. What are you gonna have? A massive worlds are more emptier? I don't know.
And I know that many have been waiting for this feature.
기존에 있던 게 아니라 이제
There'll be a
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not quitting the game based off of this news. I'm gonna let them cook. I'm gonna let them show me. I'm just a little apprehensive about it.
new Colossus,
필드에 살 수 있게 됩니다.
and it'll be
기존에는 이
player will be able
인터페이스
to
공간에서 거신거신
play against Colossus in the field.
필드에서 예, 다른
Colossus battles were limited to separate instances so far, but will now
So yeah, now the open world will have big battles in there.
be available in the fields.
그리고 이외에도 이제 새로운
That's not all.
피처인데요.
There's a new
유저분들의
feature.
컬렉션을
Yeah, maybe dropping the old
So that players
consoles
can
allows for
showcase
them
their
to add
collections.
monsters and
There will be
zones.
a lounge space introduced to the game.
그리고 이 슬라이드에는 없지만
It's not included in the slide.
다른 다양한
So it'll be a lounge
이제 새로운
that's not all.
피처인데요.
there's a new feature
A new feature?
so that players can showcase their collections. There will be a lounge space
A
introduced
new
to the game.
lounge space.
이 슬라이드에는 없지만
It's not included in the slide.
다른 다양한 IP들하고 콜라보도 지금
We're
진행하고 있고요. 준비하고
trying
있고,
to do the collaborations with
여러
other
개의
IPs.
같이 준비를 하고 있습니다.
Collaborations, chat. We're gonna get collabs. I would really like a collab between the first Descendant and Black Desert. That would make my wildest Korean fantasy come true. We can have an outfit from Black Desert inside the first Descendant and have a first Descendant outfit in BDO.
다음에 좀
Not only one, but many collaborations.
Mini
Hope that there can
collabs,
be an
chat. And they're
opportunity
both
for me
Korean,
to
by the way.
introduce
Korean devs.
In detail about them, and there'll be long-awaited new weapon.
이렇게 대형 필드와 탑승물
So new massive field.
Long
vehicle,
awaited new weapon. That is probably melee combat, by the way, because there is no other weapon that is long awaited. Like, the only thing that could be referencing here is that we're actually getting melee combat.
about them, and there'll be long-awaited new weapon.
이렇게
Yeah.
대형 필드와 탑승물
So new massive field, vehicle,
그리고 라운지
Colossus field battles, lounge,
로방 무기
and a
콜라보까지
new weapon alongside collaborations with other IPs.
라이브 업데이트에서 보여드리지 않았던
There'll be a whole new content that CFD has never offered before. We are working on the development of such content. Once we're ready, we will
Can you
release
tap
more
them
and
to
more
pen?
information regarding this new updates.
네, 그래서 올해 7월 퍼스트 디센던트 7월입니다.
So
네, 7월이고
this July, starting
Building on season 3, we're committed to creating an even better and more satisfying mega update.
with the July,
July, chat, in July, for my birthday.
I think this is also
They
the
know
first
my
time I
birthday's
mentioned
coming
that
up.
It's going to happen in July.
They know that my birthday is in July, so they're trying to throw this mega update for my birthday.
So with this July mega update, Season 3 breakthrough,
Hello, Smack.
CFD will continue delivering large-scale, satisfying updates. We ask for your continuous love and support. Thank you very much.
감사합니다.
Thank you, guys.
Good job. Good job. They did a good job, chat. Not so fast. Hit that subscription button before you head out. How about that?